Hello, children.
Good day.
Everybody out there, we have a fun tutorial for you coming up, which is something you can do at home with minimal materials and a dog. So you can get out of here, you monster. Speaking of monsters, we're going to be looking at these cool dragon Dino eyes.
This is a really easy, fun drawing that you can do. We're going to walk you through step by step, and you only need a few materials, like
That's right.
any old pencil. If you do have a set of drawing pencils around, those are really useful.
But any whatever.
Any regular pencil will do. Pencil sharpener, any old paper, even if you just tear it out of a sketchbook, anything around.
Desperation Sharpies, but you won't be able to shape.
That's right.
Well, you could, but in different ways.
What's cool about this drawing is you're really going to work on refining your skills of shading and adding highlights to your work to give the illusion of three-dimensional space and a realistic eye, drawing, etc.
And you'll show people and they'll be like, what?
Did you draw
Unbelievable.
This
So here we go.
Okay, kiddos. So here is just a quick rough sketch of where we're kind of headed with this. Okay. So make sure you have a nice sharp pencil. When you're starting this sketch, please use really light sketching marks. You don't want to press hard because it'll be hard to erase and cover up those lines.
That's right.
Start with a guide. So we're just gonna do kind of a circle. Just to get in the eyeball.
We might be drawing a little bit darker than we'd like you to, just so you can see it.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can go really light at home. So you want to sketch in your eyeball and then get in your eyelid. So I'm going to start with, yeah, that's one way to come in sideways, or you can scoop along the circle but go out straighter on the edge. Remember that the eyeball is like a circular shape, so you want to keep with those rounded lines to keep that illusion that it's 3D. So we're making an eyelid on the top.
And scooping around and doing one on the bottom as well.
Yeah. My guy's going to be a little wider-eyed than you, maybe. You know what I didn't grab us?
Eraser.
Eraser, but I'm on it. You keep going, I'll catch up.
So it'll be interesting to see both drawings at the same time, because you can kind of, any way that you do this is really gonna work out well. So you don't worry that it doesn't look exactly the same. You're just going to do you and create this triangle.
Okay.
Coolio.
Julio. Okay.
All right,
keep going. I'm gonna get caught up to you.
So what we're gonna do now is, because this is a three-dimensional shape, we just kind of want to bring in a guiding mark for where we're gonna put our pupil. So the pupil is the darkest part of this eye. You can do this as whatever shape you want. As a dragon eye, I guess you could do some really cool, different, unique pupils. So I'm just gonna kind of make a crazy looking pupil here, and that's going to be the dark pupil.
I like that.
And the pupil should be really, really colored in, because that's going to be the darkest part, that black spot in the middle of your eye, or the dragon's eye. Sweet.
Sweet indeed. Make mine a little bit bigger. And he'll be, I feel like they're spookier when it's skinny.
Yeah, totally.
And I want my guy to be friendly.
Ooh.
Is that too much to ask?
So you also want to just block in where you're going to have some catch light. Now, catch light is where the light is reflecting off of a shiny object. So you can just draw that in.
One thing to remember too is that your eyeball is a circular object. So we're going to talk a little bit about where the light's going to hit. Your top eyelid is going to be a little bit more shaded than this bottom one here. If we imagine our light coming down from the top, all this shadow that's over here is going to be shaded a little bit more, or this eyelid. And here, at least in some areas, it's going to actually catch the light. If my light's coming down this way, I want to keep some of these areas lighter. And we'll talk about the folds and scales and that sort of thing. But I like to start by just getting my darkest eyelid shadows along the top portion and the edge of the eye too, because it is circular, so it's going to be lighter in the center, a little darker on the corners here. This is going to start to make your dragon eye. I'm calling mine a dino eye. I want it to be
yeah,
dino, but, you know,
dragon,
whatever. It's going to start to make it look a little bit more 3D. And start using the best tool you've got, which is attached to your body, your fingers.
You can smudge away. If you have a blending stump, some of you have been introduced to blending stumps and might have gone out and got blending stump for yourself. You can use your blending stump or the original OG blending stump, your finger.
Your finger.
I'm just kind of getting some darkness in on either edge of my eyeball here. And I'm using kind of a circular motion.
I'm starting to put a little bit of shadow underneath this first fold. Again, if my light's coming down this way, if there's any folds here, it's going to be along the bottom, but it'll catch some light along the top. Opposite goes for the top here. This area here is going to be a little darker. And then some light, and I'm going to do another fold in here. You know what's a good idea out there, kids, too, is to look up some different eyes so that you have a nice reference image to go by. I'm kind of going by my brain right now, and it's a little easier when you can look. Well, we got a couple references going.
If you find like you put too much darkness in an area, you can always go ahead and erase back into the shadows that you've made, and that's where it's good to just kind of build up your shadow slowly so that you can erase back into it easily.
Yeah.
Bring that highlight back. Okay, so on your eyeball, this is going to be your catch light area is going to be really bright white. I'm gonna leave it bright, and then you're gonna create some shading, especially under that top eyelid. If you imagine, it's pretty thick, so it's gonna create some shadow on the top and shadow on the bottom because it's popping forward. So you wanna kind of start to get in some of these shadows. And if you want, you can also create some like, I guess they're blood vessels in the eye. You wanted
Gross.
You have a dragon who's
So mad his blood vessels are. He's mad somebody took the princess back.
oh yeah.
Whoa. Sick blood vessels, Cherwick. I'm just gonna go with like
The original.
some little lines, I think. A little less,
Spooky.
a little less spook. Some into my catch light a little bit too. Can't go wrong. How fun. Okay.
How fun.
It's the Eye of Sauron for my Lord of the Rings lovers out there. Could really get those colors in. Oh man.
Cool.
Isolation is the best when you can draw and have fun with your friends virtually. Okay.
All right.
You might want to start thinking about scales.
Yes, let's do that.
Because you could spend all day. We're gonna go through a little bit faster so that you guys can get going here. You can really spend all day getting in all these little details and having really dark areas and going in with the eraser and having really light areas is gonna make a more dynamic drawing. But even to just start sketching around the eye and dealing with this space along the rest of your paper is to think about scales or what might be around your creature's eye. So I'm going to start sketching in. Doesn't mean I have to go in and shade them yet, but I'm going to start kind of planning my scales right now.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
They're going to kind of come around here.
What's cool about dinos or dragons is their skin is very rough and textured.
Yeah.
So you can kind of have fun with how you start to create these scaly scales around the eye.
Yeah.
You don't have to be worried whether it's right or wrong, because there are no right answers in this situation, really. Anything you do, you're making up this creature on your own. So don't worry about, oh, it doesn't look exactly right. You're creating these scales. Use your imagination. Anything goes here. What's going to make it look realistic are the tricks we're going to teach you about bringing in some shading where it needs to be shaded so that it looks like this scale is coming forward into space.
Yeah, and taking your time. You don't have to finish this in one sitting.
That's right.
We're probably going too fast, but we want you guys to get going there too. What kind of scales you got going on? Let me peep them. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool.
So if a scale is being caught in the light, it's going to be a little bit lighter, and then the other side is going to be
I need my pencil.
darker.
If anybody, although I guess with a drawing this works for everybody, but like if you're a left-handed person like me, your hand goes across. But you're right with drawing. That's more with writing. When you go across.
So you can see that we're starting with really light sketching marks to kind of get the structure of these scales in here. And then we're going to go in and get some darker marks in.
The beauty of pencil is erasing. Like if you don't like it, first off, it's probably just you alone in a room, so be nice to yourself, but also just erase. Take your time, erase. I'm gonna do some larger scales out here. I kind of want my guy to come out this way. I don't know if that's biologically correct, but I'm making it up. So who cares?
Exactly.
Cool. Yours looks rad. Nice thing if you're looking from a picture too, you can kind of see where the lights and darks are, but if you're not and you're making it up, just think if something's overlapping, like my scales. I'm imagining this scale is over top of this one, so it's gonna have a little shadow underneath. Where's the light gonna hit? Where's the dark gonna hit? Okay,
Dirty hands.
means you've been successful.
That's right.
We are done, but how fun to be doing our drawings right now.
Let's show it up close. Check this out. That is some rad
Guys, come on.
times.
They're so cool. So keep working to shade. Keep using your eraser to pull back.
Use the blending stump. Use the eraser.
Put in, pull back.
Drawing's fun.
Drawing's fun. Did you know? If you didn't, you're going to find out when you do this. So get to it and send us / show us in any way you can.
Your work.
Your work.
Have fun. Enjoy. Parents, hey, thanks for tuning in, stopping by, and we'll
Catch you on the flip side. Catch you outside when we can.